Holy jeez, man. Guess it's time to live stream, huh? There we go. There we are. Shalom, everybody. How are we? Fabulous, wonderful, tremendous. Hunter Seeker, shalom. Welcome to the live stream. Happy to have everybody here. Thank y'all for being here. Sleep Dog, shalom. The Hoss, Brian. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. There's lots of other places you could be spending your Wednesday mid-morning, and yet here we are. It's a big damn bear. That's right, Brad. That's right. Craig, shalom, brother. We had the big rains, all the big rains here last night, but mostly what it did was make noise and knock my internet out. But the internet is allegedly back. The Watchman News, shalom. Michigan Shepherd, Phelps, shalom, brother. Thank you all for being here. As always, the entirety of this report is available on Patreon. Appreciate y'all deeply. Patrons, y'all are the economic engine of the Bear Nation, so thank you very much. Callie, bless you, sister. Curtis Spencer, good morning, brother. Faux Daddy. John Slatton, shalom. So thank you, Patreon. You can just go to Patreon, put in Bear Independent, 0 A's in the word independent, and you'll find this report, as well as, check this out, as well as all these other reports that are every single report since we've started doing these. Yeah, intel. So all that's at Patreon. Pics, supporting documents, all the bloody blahs. Check out the web store. Y'all are killing it at the web store, bearindependent.com web store. Bless y'all. Shaloha, J.A. Dudley, shalom, brother. Like, comment, subscribe, share, especially share. That helps us very mucho. And yeah, check out grindstoneministries.com. Now, let's get into the brief, and thank you for your patience. Mucho apreciado of the patience. So, 29 April overview, Bear Independent Intel report. The number of confirmed cases worldwide and in the U.S. continues to climb. As of the time of this reporting, the official numbers are as follows: 3.127 million global cases. You know, I was looking back through this morning. Global cases have skyrocketed, have tripled in the last month. Now, is that due to increased testing and increased reporting? Yeah, it is. But at the beginning of the month, we had 1 million cases, and it was like, oh my gosh, 1 million cases. Now we got 3 million cases. I'm like, screw it, let's go back to work. I've had enough of this bull crap. So that's just an interesting dichotomy right there. And by the way, love Jocko, but I was aware of the word dichotomy before I was aware of who Jocko Willink was, and I kind of resent the fact that he stole the word dichotomy, because it was one of my favorite words in the English language, and now it's Jocko's word. So whatever, bro. I will arm wrestle you for it, sir. Global deaths, 216,987. Global recoveries, 950,000. U.S. cases, over 1 million, 1.029 million, with 831,000 active cases. U.S. deaths are 58,640. U.S. recoveries are 140,000. There's been another report of a Chinese vessel hindering, ramming, and thus sinking a Vietnamese fishing vessel in the contested waters of the South China Sea. This has greatly concerned the Pentagon. This is the second time within a year that this has happened. Vietnam lodged an official protest, and the Philippines and the U.S. Department have both backed Vietnam by criticizing China for the alleged incident, aka war, war footing, war. Do I need to say it again? War. In fact, there's a video that's going to come out tonight. I would love it if y'all would please check it out, The Coming World War. It'll be out this evening on this channel. Detailing some of these things, just some of these things that we've been seeing lately with China and this war footing that we are being put on. The way that the chessboard is being populated with pieces, certain pieces in certain places to allow certain moves. Yeah. Roger. Australia has asked for an international inquiry into the origins of COVID-19, and China has pushed back with threats of economic coercion. So Australia said, hey, where did this thing come from? And China said, hey, we're going to kick your butt. But we didn't do it, but we're gonna kick your butt. Roger that. China has pushed back with threats of economic coercion, including boycotting Australian goods. Oz is holding firm. War. China is building a new warship despite lockdown. War. China's foreign ministry on Tuesday accused the United States of lying through their, quote, lying through their teeth, end quote. Spokesman Gang Shuang, said we advise American politicians to reflect on their own problems and to try their best to control the epidemic as soon as possible instead of continuing to play tricks to deflect blame, end quote. Trump has said that the U.S. is considering several options to, quote, hold them accountable, end quote. War. President Trump is expected to sign a 5-page executive order under the Defense Production Act to compel meat processing plants to remain open amid the coronavirus pandemic. Food shortage. As stated previously at this channel, over and over and over and over again, be independent of the system, thus the term Bear Independent. And just for all the FYIs, my name was Bear before Owen Benjamin. I don't know who the hell that is, but my name was Bear before that. So nicknames and radio handles are the type of things that are bestowed upon you, not the type of thing that you give to yourself. And so I don't know what's going on with all that Bear nonsense, but my name was Bear before that guy popularized Bear. So everybody tracking? Roger that. What should we watch for? Food shortage, as always. Economic stability, as always. Civil unrest, as always. Now, wars and rumors of wars, indeed. Are the elections going to be pushed? Maybe. We're going to see. I hope not, because all that could turn into tyranny actual. Not just tyranny light, tyranny actual. Again, there's I think a pretty good video coming out this evening called The Coming World War on this channel. I would encourage you to please watch that and share it with all, your closest 5,000 friends would be great. 2 or more eyewitness accounts, continuity of infrastructure and supply chains, repeating. Processing and manufacturing slowdowns are decreasing supply of goods. Farmers are dumping their milk, produce is being plowed under or allowed to rot, and large numbers of egg-laying hens and hogs are being euthanized due to a lack of processing ability. U.S. pork production alone is down about 25% now due to closures. Repeating, reduced ethanol has led to reduced carbon dioxide, which is used in water treatment. A farmer had to sell 30,000 eggs daily or euthanize 40,000 hens. He marketed to other farms that do off-the-farm sales, and he also sold direct to the public. He is managing to stay afloat for now. Hint. Support your local farmers. I don't know how, Bear. See the farm, drive to farm, talk to farmer, pay the farmer, eat what comes from the farm. I know it can't be that easy. Don't talk to me like I'm a toddler, Bear. This is toddler level skills. See the farm, drive to the farm, talk to farmer, pay the farmer, eat what the farmer has. You see, the hardest part in all this for y'all, for most people, is the talk to farmer part. Why? They're people too, man. Hey, you got chickens. I like chickens. How much you want for them chickens? Well, I'd have to have $3 a piece for them. I'll tell you what, man. How about I give you a $100 bill and you just give me 30 of them and we'll call it even. I suppose we could do that. Awesome. Can I pick them up Tuesday? Well, it'd have to be Tuesday afternoon because I gotta, okay, cool, roger that. Boom. Hand that guy a $100 bill, go get your 30 chickens. It's not that hard. People, we blow this out of proportion in our minds. Well, what if he doesn't like the type of jeans that I'm wearing and he thinks that I'm a soy boy and he won't sell me chickens? Who cares? Go buy chickens. It's okay. Legal and political. Repeating, many places are beginning to cautiously open up and or making plans to do so. Many places are also extending their orders and or modifying them, meaning that there is no rhyme or reason to this, nor should there be, because we have 50 different experiments in representative republic here in this country, not just one, which it should be. This should be a state-by-state basis, and it is. And so we can give the federal government a little bit of props for that, that at least they're issuing guidelines, not mandates. And so we are actually getting to see who the authoritarian autocratic a-holes are in all of these different states. And boy, they're really showing their bums on this one, a lot of them, aren't they? Yada, yada, yada. Maine's governor is considering extending the restrictions, and Portland's mayor already has. Shall we drink coffee? We should. Disastercoffee.com, the best. Tremendous. Pinkies up, boys. Note to self, don't put coffee in the lungs. It doesn't go in the lungs. Gonna end up like that guy in Ruska that had a 2-inch fir tree growing in his lung that they thought was a tumor. Many places are also mandating face coverings. Towns in Massachusetts are some of the most recent to do so. Alabama is transitioning from a stay-at-home order to a safer-at-home order. Beaches will open and elective procedures will now be allowed. An appeals court has reinstated the California ammo ban. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's like when the dog craps in the front yard, I can't get mad at the dog for crapping in the front yard because he's a dog and he craps in the front yard. I don't like it, but it's in his nature to do so. So I'm not surprised that California is being, you know, tyrannical again and stupid again when it comes to the way that their state operates. I still don't like it. But, Bear, what can I do about that? Well, I don't live in California. There's many lovely places in California. I get that. I don't live there. There's many lovely places in New York. I don't live there. There's many lovely places in Massachusetts. I don't live there. Vote with your feet. Vote with your dollars. Sometimes you just got a GTFO. In Austin, Texas, the city hall was vandalized with red spray paint and messages that say, quote, May 1, International Workers' Day, and quote, U.S. imperialism is the virus, socialist revolution is the cure, end quote. Well, first of all, what kind of lumber sexual a-hole spray painted that on the side of the Capitol building in Austin? By the way, oh, I'm sorry, City Hall. Okay, whatever. I'm just saying, whatever. We could probably institute a law. You got to do 20 burpees before you're allowed to do graffiti, and just like shut that. It's like boom, handled. One less thing. One less thing. If you've recently consumed Mountain Dew and/or Cheetos in the last 24 hours, you're not allowed to vandalize anything. Well, handled, right? It's like vandalism is down 97.7%. Handled. Medical, repeating. Clinicians suspect COVID-19 may cause all kinds of terrible things, like fir trees growing in your lungs, like third testicles, like a horn that grows out of your face like this. All types of terrible things are coming from this. ER and other medical facilities are continuing to struggle financially. It has been noted in several areas that food distribution lines are incredibly long. They are, in fact, incredibly long. Food banks are undersupplied, and there is a massive demand as of right now. Rallies and protests are continuing. Facebook is still a bunch of a-holes. In San Antonio, 1,313 calls have been made for social distancing violations. To which we say, suck it up, Buttercup. Really? In San Antonio, Texas. Now, I get it. Texas is a very large place. 1,081 miles east to west. Massive, massive place. I get it. And so we can't paint with broad brushstrokes here, but I can say, at least in the micro, in many areas of Texas, Texas is not as Texas thinks it is. And I've been saying this for years, and I can say this because my family has been in Texas for hundreds of years, and we're one of those families that's got a county named after us in Texas. So I get to say that. Texas ain't as Texas as it thinks it is. Really, San Antonio? Also in Texas, about 50 people were locked out of their apartments when they couldn't pay rent. There is currently a state moratorium on doing this, but it happened anyway. Law enforcement is looking into what exactly happened and what actions can be taken against the company that did this. CBS is reporting that a federal plan is needed to solve the food distribution crisis as farmers, crops, and livestock have nowhere to go and food banks are becoming depleted. Intel staff note, the federal plan is, of course, not to remove the current restrictions that prevent people from solving these problems themselves, but to add even more government intervention to fix the newest of these issues that are presenting themselves. Makes me want to scratch my beard, y'all. Get out of the system. Sanctified industries, as we've discussed ad nauseum the last few days. How do we get a hold of the 40,000 chickens that are going to be euthanized? And by we, I don't mean like all 80,000 of us at this channel, all 496 of us that are on right now. I mean like you and 50 of your closest friends, or 12 of your closest friends, or you and your spouse, or whatever. Local food banks, how do you tap into that? This is all networking 101. See the farmer, drive to the farmer, talk to the farmer, pay the farmer, take the farmer's goods. Networking 101. We have got to get better at this. Have got to get better at this, because it is an absolute atrocity that we're just gonna euthanize all of these resources because the system can't utilize them. Well, F the system. That's what we're trying to do anyway. Be independent from that system. Awesome. This actually creates opportunity for us to dive into the gap in between the resources and the inefficient system that can't make use of the resources, to circumnavigate all of this BS in the middle right there. Boom, get right in, go back local, stay local. Local supply chains are much more robust than regional, state, national, international supply chains, right? And we won't get into that, but it's much more robust. And so we've got to get better at this. We, myself included, even though I think I'm probably pretty good at it, I still have to get better at it. We all have to get better at this. You don't kill food because you can't figure out who to sell it to. There's got to be something better to that. On the one hand, there's people who can't get food. On the other hand, there's people who have food but can't get it to the people. Boom. We go in between, facilitate that. And it doesn't have to be facilitate the sale of 80,000 chickens. Facilitate the sale of 80 chickens, of 8 chickens, of a chicken. Something, okay? All the best moves. Intel at bearindependent.com is where your intel nuggets need to go. Keep the dance monkeys fed. Otherwise, they will just be shivering in their cages, alone and hungry, with no energy to dance, dance, dance all day because you've not fed them their tasty dance nuggets. You must understand that all of this intel comes from y'all. You send it to them, they compile this report, send it to me. I pick through the report, I put it together for y'all. We bring it verbally, it gets posted on Patreon with pics and supporting documents. Okay, but it starts with y'all. It starts with the Bear Nation. So intel at bearindependent.com. Now, as a brief, everybody yawn, grab a cup of coffee. If you gotta pee, maybe now's the time. You got about 40 seconds, go pee, whatever you gotta do. Scratch yourself, whatever, okay? Now, I've been telling y'all for a while. See this right here? This here is what's called body armor, okay? This is the back of my plate carrier. Don't mind all of this. This is a bare minimum kit, okay? This bare minimum kit, this is the bare minimum Gen 0.0. This is the first one ever. That we are now in the Gen 2s at the website, bearindependent.com. Click the goods and gear tab. Purpose built, made in America, guaranteed forever, North American rescue components. These kits are combat proven, have saved 5 lives that we know of. They're deployed around the world. They're used by military, law enforcement, civilian sheepdogs everywhere, okay? This is the bare minimum kit. I run it on my armor. I was not kidding when I say I run these on my armor. This armor in here comes from adventurefrontier.com. If you need armor, if you've paid your bills and you're paying down debt and there's food in your pantry and you're planting food and you still got a little bit of money left over, please support a small business, ours or anybody else's. Please support a small business. We make these by hand. We stuff these by hand. And it may not matter to a lot of y'all, but I pray over every one of these before I ship it out that please, Father God, let the person who receives this not have to use it. And if they do have to use it, that a life would be sustained and saved through you. Okay? That's what these are to us. Guaranteed forever. You break this thing, I'll send you another one. then this armor comes from adventurefrontier.com, Spartan armor, okay? And you can get one of these at Adventure Frontier to go with these as a package if you like as well. So if you need armor, please consider adventurefrontier.com. If you need a purpose-built, guaranteed, made in America, will last you a lifetime blowout kit, please consider bearindependent.com, goods and gear tab. Roger. We are also fundraising for Grindstone Ministries, which is our charitable organization. Grindstone is the hands and feet of Messiah. We go out and we do badass construction stuff for people who are not terribly good at construction, but good at everything else. So, ongoing right now, we have a general fund, which supports the day-to-day operations of the ministry. We have a Shofar Mountain fund, where we are building a church building for Shofar Mountain. And we have a Bethany House fund, where we are building a chapel for Bethany House, which is a ministry that rescues and restores victims of human trafficking and sex crimes that we are partnered with indefinitely. Probably till the time I take my last breath, we will be partnering with them, helping them serve the Father's kingdom, because they're really good at putting people back together. They're pretty terrible at construction. Luckily, we're really good at construction, and luckily, we're supported by y'all. So please prayerfully consider Grindstone Ministries. We're kicking into a hardcore fundraising season, and we appreciate y'all deeply. Back into the report. First, let's hydrate. Pinkies up, boys. Pinkies up. Not in the lungs. Fabulous. Single accounts, insider intel, and miscellaneous. Traffic from South Central Nebraska. You know, when you say South Central, it already starts sounding tough. It's like South Central LA. No, South Central Nebraska. We've got corn and white people there. From South Central Nebraska to Central Arkansas, traffic was quite light on the interstates and highways, but larger cities had slightly decreased traffic levels. In Utah, they're going to start testing flu samples from December to see if coronavirus was already going around, since there was an outbreak of an unknown respiratory illness at that time. An essential worker was told to contact his doctor when he had a fever and cough. The doctor mentioned in the call that he saw worse numbers during the 2009 flu season, and that things are being blown way out of proportion, hurting the economy far worse than people's health. I'm sure that doctor's gonna all of a sudden feel very depressed and hang himself in his closet with a tie or something. I hope not. A man in Iowa has hogs. That is how you start a modern classic novel. A man in Iowa, he had some hogs, and he had nowhere to sell them. So he told his friends and family, for $50 a hog, you can have all you like. You haul them, you kill them, and you butcher them. And it took that man only 4 hours to sell all 200 of his hogs. People want to stock up. There are reports of many, many other hog farms doing the same thing. Chapter 1, the hog farmer. International. Illegal immigrants chopped down thousands of old-growth olive trees in Greece in protest a few months ago. Because that makes sense. Morons. This, combined with the current crisis, may spell an olive oil shortage. What do? Stock up. But Bear, it's expensive. Cool. Well, you're definitely not buying your $8 Mocha Soca Loy soy lattes, right? Or anything else. I mean, listen, we all got vices. We all have stupid things we spend money on. For example, if I get one more knife, my wife is going to take this hatchet and pound it into the side of my skull. And then she's going to put me in the compost pile right over there. We all have things we spend stupid money on. Spend some stupid money on olive oil, okay? The U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedoms has noted in a recent report that religious suppression under Chinese communism poses a global threat as Beijing seeks to export such suppression around the globe. It is unclear how much of this is to be expected and how much may be attributed to the drumbeats of war that we are hearing, aka war. Now, as stated in the video that we'll post this evening, The Coming World War, I fail to see how a U.S. Commission on anything actually cares about religious freedom. Those two things, like jumbo shrimp or army intelligence, but whatever, right? they don't care. This is just one more grain of sand to tip the scales of the American populace in favor of war with China, says Bear. And happy to be proven wrong, but I think it's coming. The president of El Salvador has authorized the use of lethal force against gangs, as gang violent crimes have spiked during the coronavirus. They've also been authorized here, FYI. We have the best ROEs. They're tremendous. Believe me, all of these R's that go with these O's and these E's are the best. Everybody has told me these are the best ROEs. When you O with these E's, you will definitely R. Tremendous. Believe me, no one, not one person will come across that gate. We've built the wall. We've built it. And believe me, all of the O's and the E's with these R's, tremendous. Contact your local chicken farmers. You can buy processed chicken by the case from plants. The plants that they supply, not the plants that grow up out of the ground. The plants that process all these here chickens. Roughly 65 cents a pound. A viewer in Alabama was able to get 80 pounds of chicken breast for 65 cents a pound. That's a pretty damn good price. We need more of this. And again, I would encourage y'all to visit the forums at bearindependent.com, not because that does anything for me. The entire reason we made the forums at bearindependent.com is for y'all, so that you can cross-pollinate with your intel, with the people in your area. Hey, there's a guy selling this thing here. Awesome, go get it. And this is the concept, more or less, of sanctified industries. If you see the opportunity to gobble up these resources that the broken system cannot or will not make use of, take it, get it, go after it, and let everybody else in the Bear Nation know as well. Let's do this thing, right? This is, you really got just a couple of options when there's chaos. You can cower in fear and let things happen to you, or you can observe what is going on, orient on the actuality of the situation, and then make things happen that are in your favor. Either way, action's gonna happen. You can either be proactive with the opportunity to seize these resources, or you can be reactive, lose the opportunity to seize these resources, and then rather than you acting, you will be acted upon. Well, I would rather act than be acted upon. I mean, that's the kind of prepper 101, although I don't think many people discuss it like that. Most preppers are like, listen here, today we're gonna have a video on the 15 reasons why zombies are gonna eat your dogs and then use the disembodied leg of your toddler to beat to death the people up the street. It's like, well, that's not really a very valuable video for the rest of us. 15 reasons why you need to buy 46 more bushcraft knives. Okay, cool. And here's how the ferrocerium rod works. I don't care. Well, if you don't have this type of lighter, you're not a bushcraft. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's all noise. Use this as an opportunity to act, not be acted upon. Consider forming a group and contacting a local cattle farmer to buy live and direct and set up a group processing day. Amen. Plant your pantry. Amen. Silver linings. Bear has finally, this is quote, Bear has finally broken me down. You're welcome. I never had a garden, but today I have decided to do a 10 by 24 foot garden in my backyard city lot. For those aren't tracking, it's about 2,400 square feet. That's a good sized garden. It's an eighth of an acre. Idaho. One load of 180 market-ready hogs with no production facility available is en route to Jerome, Idaho. Another load of 180 hogs is being pre-sold and destined for Salmon, S-A-L-M-O-N, Salmon, Ohio. Hogs are approximately 300 pounds, and we were able to purchase them direct for $135 each, delivered. Next venture, 2 loads of beef and all the chickens we can lay our hands on. Roger. I think it's great that you're acquiring food. I really do think it's great you're acquiring food. I don't know what you're gonna do with them hogs, but I think it's great that you're acquiring food. Publix is buying milk and produce that farmers would have been forced to dump and is donating it to food banks. Yes! That. We need more of that. Do more of that. even if it's only that much of that, if we all do that much of that, we capture those resources back, bring them back into our local economies where we can actually use them rather than our macro big scale economies where they're falling by the wayside because the system that is supposed to save our asses sucks. Thanks, quote, thanks for the idea of planting from the pantry. We have 4 50-foot rows of red beans, 2 rows of tomatoes from seeds, 3 rows of corn, watermelon, cantaloupe, which I have always thought it should be pronounced cantaloupe, given the way that it's written. Watermelon, cantaloupe, and various other plants. Everything is starting to come up. Praise the Father, that's awesome. In Chattanooga, quote, the local Red Cross received more chicken than they could store from Chick-fil-A in Purdue. Thankful for a call. God is good. Amen. Gulf Power is performing a one-time decrease of residential bills by 40% and business bills by 40 to 55% to pass on the benefit of lower gas costs and to help their consumers weather this storm, so to speak. Good job, Gulf Power. That's cool. That's nice of ya. One member's wife and her family are coming around to the idea of preparedness. He is helping teach firearm safety to a family that just purchased their first. His wife is now going through the prepper classroom videos. By the way, that's what they are for. I did not understand when the father punched me in the face and said, dude, why aren't you doing whiteboard videos? And I'm like, for what? And he's like, just do them. I'm like, okay, I will do them. And so I done did them. And now there's like 27 videos up there that break down Barney style from the very first thing, what is preparing, what is prepping, what is preparedness. And it's basically physical life insurance. It's stockpiling material goods coupled with the heart set, mindset, skill set, and the training to deploy those material goods as a hedge against potential chaos to perpetuate normalcy for the people that you love. That's prepping. That's my definition of prepping. My definition of prepping is not just putting on my plate carrier and my AR-15 and waiting for the zombies to walk into my cul-de-sac so I can just start pressing triggers. Roger that. Y'all have fun with that. I'm not interested in that bull crap. So anyway, Prepper Classroom exists for that very reason, as a refresher for those who've been in the game for a while and as an introduction for those who haven't. And it's designed to be shared around to people to break down complex concepts into bite-sized pieces so that it can be absorbed, so that you can macerate it, so that you can bring it in and think on it a little bit. There's a toddler dressed in pink, hauling butt up the driveway. She's getting it. I don't know what she's chasing, but whatever it is, it's important. Watch that road! Quote, Bear, thank you for sharing the knowledge in a way that is easy to digest for people like my wife and family that have no prior ideas about prepping. And thank you, Dance Monkeys of Bear Independent, for your work sorting through the deluge of emails you must be receiving. Hundreds a day. Bless y'all, Bear Nation, and bless y'all, Dance Monkeys. We have, you don't understand how proud I am of this little organization called Bear Independent. We have the coolest freaking people, the most competent people. Whenever we have a need, the Father goes, here you go. Here's another badass. Why don't you onboard this badass? And I love it. I absolutely love it. And so thank you for your kind words to the Dance Monkeys. And if you have kind words for the Dance Monkeys, intel at bearindependent.com. Please let them know how much this report means to you, because it helps keep them energized. You know, there's like the battery that you stick in the back of them so that they can just keep boogieing. And remember, I'm an old white dude. It's the only moves I got, so don't judge me. May the Lord bless you and your families. Bless you back, brother. A viewer has built a water filter from 2 5-gallon buckets, ceramic filters, and other miscellaneous hardware. It cost about $60 and gives about 4 gallons an hour. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We got all these useful resources here, which are posted on Patreon, these HTML links right there. Check out the forums at bearindependent.com. I done told you all that already. I really hope that you do. I really don't want to be your dad and have to tell you to clean your room 64 times before I get pissed and you're going to clean that room. Just go to the forums. Meet like-minded people. date each other, do the hard things together, fall in love, live happily ever after, whatever. Support Grindstone Ministries, please. grindstoneministries.com. disastercoffee.com is a supporter of Grindstone Ministries. Sanctified Supply Co. is a supporter of Grindstone Ministries. They make cool swag, like shirts, t-shirts, hats, patches, stuff like that. Disaster Coffee is delicious coffee. And then Amendment 1 Preparedness, canned ham radios. They're freaking awesome. They're a supporter of Grindstone, as are myriad other groups and individuals. But those three right now have really just been kicking tail with us, and we're really thankful for them. So, yeah. And like I said, grindstoneministries.com. If you want to go on mission, because I've been getting a lot of emails about this, so please switch your ears on. If you want to go on mission, do not email me saying, hey, how do I go on mission? Follow directions, please. Do not email me, how do I go on mission? Here's how you go on mission. You sign up for the email blast at grindstoneministries.com. When it is time to deploy not to hang out with Bear, not because I'm there, time to deploy because we're going to go do work on behalf of our Creator and serve His kingdom. If that's your MO, then you will respond to that email blast and we will get you on a roster for a deployment. But the way that you deploy is not to email me and say, hey, I want to go, please let me know when it's time to go, because that's not how that works. So, grindstoneministries.com, sign up for the email blast there. You can see a little bit more about what we're all about there. Entirety of this report is on Patreon. Go to patreon.com, look for Bear Independent. You'll find it. You'll find it as well as all these other reports as well. The store, y'all are killing it in the store. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There are 10 different households that are in part or in whole eating off of Bear Independent and the Bear Independent machine right now. So I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you. That's all I got. Thank you. Y'all rock. What do we do? I cut a bunch of 12-inch lap joints into 4x4s. Just so happens I'm standing right next to him. Shall we look? Shall we look? Look at that. Look at all them lap joints. Look at all them lap joints. That's right. Cut a bunch of 12-inch lap joints into some 4x4s. For the porch, photos of that are on Instagram. Yeah, that's right. Bear does Instagrams. Shot some Patreon vids with my wife. I took some calls with some clients and some friends. I watched Pastor Joe and Sister Kate's live stream last night. Got schwacked by a big old storm, but praise the Most High. Ain't nothing wrong around here. Sun's shining. Everything's good. And we ate meatball subs for dinner because, it's the apocalypse and we're all supposed to be starving to death and taking our last meager scoop of grains out of our buckets. Or you prepare. The prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself. Proverbs. Not basic or intermediate verbs, proverbs. So we've been eating pretty good, praise the Most High. So thank you all for being here. Let's talk to our Creator. Father Yah, thank you for this opportunity. Father, thank you for everybody within the sound of my voice. Thank you for a beautiful day. Father, I pray that you just shine blessings on all these people. I pray that you just continue to walk with us, that you would be sovereign over all things, including our health, our wellness, our provision and blessing, Father, our mental state, our emotional state, our spiritual state. Father, I pray that you just be indwelt in us. Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice here on property or anywhere within the sound of my voice that's not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. Father, fill us up with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, Father. Be indwelt in us and allow us to do mighty things in your name today, to win victories for your kingdom, to be that city on a hill, that light that will not be hidden under a basket. Father, use this time to build testimony. Use this time to allow us to minister to people in your name and to do awesome and mighty things for you and your people in your kingdom. Father, thank you for this. Thank you for this opportunity daily, and thank you for myriad provisions and blessings. We ask these things in Yeshua's name. Amen. Bless y'all. Have an awesome day. We got a bunch of ass to kick. Shalom.